Armory disc golfers, welcome back to another video. I got a bit of a different one today because these discs suck. At least that's what you'd assume based on the way they've sold. And I know that's not everything, but it is interesting to me, and I think it brings up some interesting things about where disc golf in general is at right now. So today we're going to talk about it. What you just saw was a Discmania solar flare that came out recently. And I thought whenever these things were released that they were going to be a big deal, because this is the first Horizon FD3 we've gotten since the Doombird. The FD3 and these types of discs are generally popular. It's got a pretty sweet stamp and theme going on to it, but it, alongside this other disc, kind of flopped on release. That went all the way through those trees. That's super lucky. I'll have to get more footage, obviously, of this guy on an Anheuser, because it will fight out of Anheisers, because it is a Horizon C-Line PD2, the Gravity Bomb, Gavin Babcock's signature series, and we're putting with the newly released P2X, newishly released P2X, which is essentially Gannon's Discmania PA3. Stay up, stay up. It's online. And one of the reasons that I wanted to bring the P2X along with me, in addition to the fact that it's a new release and I love the PA3, is that I'm pretty sure this disc has outsold both the Solar Flare and the Gravity Bomb combined, at least Armory Disc Golf. And that's kind of weird to me because I feel like these are two pretty popular slots, especially compared to just another putting putter. I think that's pretty perfect. Yeah, it was pretty much perfect. And big caveat to this is that though Armory Disc Golf is a retailer, we're not the only retailer out there. So I know that other stores could be selling these things like crazy, but I feel like I'm pretty well tapped in to the disc golf market in general. And who else have you seen that's really excited about these releases? This hole is kind of terrifying. I'm playing it as OB instead of hazard. I wish I would have put a little more Anheuser. Ooh, I wish I would have put a little more oomph. But as a retailer, I do think that it's kind of an interesting perspective that unless apparently you are someone like Gannon, who is just absolutely top of the line, having your name on a Tour Series release isn't enough to move discs anymore, which again, I think is particularly interesting with where we're at in the year with new contracts and whatnot coming up. Oh my word. Okay, my excuse is I'm not a straddle putter. And it's honestly a bit of a shame because in addition to these being cool, like they look cool, again, I like the designs on them and everything, I feel like this is actually a slot that not everybody, obviously, but I do think it's a slot that a lot of people look for, that like overstable into a headwind on Anheuser, doesn't matter, it's going to fight out disc that people are looking for, and that the S-Line PD2s weren't. So especially with this being the first C-Line PD2 that Discmania has come out with in their originals line, I really expected it to do better, and I'm really hoping not to lose it here. I mean, you got to contest the tree. And maybe y'all don't care about what sells well and what doesn't, but if you do, let me know. But I'm one of those people that just get like really into things. I got into disc golf and then here I am, it's my career. Yes. And like I've mentioned, I think that things like sales kind of reflect where we're at as a community overall. Because ultimately you vote with your dollars. And so not that Gavin and Alden aren't worth their contracts or anything like that. I just think that it's a really interesting insight in the off season about kind of what the manufacturers may be thinking of. Unless you are a top of the line, like a Simon Lizotte or a Paul Macbeth or something like that, it doesn't seem like players are really moving discs like they used to. Someone that I'm really interested in is Isaac Robinson, because he's a two-time world champion. And again, from a retailer's perspective, those world champion discs did not move the same way that Six Claws did, or even some of the Simon commemorative discs. So I'm curious to see what he will do for Innova. I'm also curious to see what this thing is going to do on an Anheuser here. Dang. This is cheating, but I'm gonna throw it again. The actual shot is to hug the tree line on hyzer, but again, I just want to see how this fights out. It does absolutely fight out. That's actually like in prime position. I also think that this is a really interesting display of how different pros bags are from amateur bags, because obviously we know that pros bag different slots than AMs do, but these two releases made me curious, and I went back through and I looked at our top selling discs of the year. I think that's really good. Go in the basket. Anyway, I went back through and I looked at our top selling discs of the year, which that video is coming out soon, I'm excited about. And you don't see a Firebird slot until the Firebird at number 23. Again, we're one retailer, we move a decent amount of discs. So I think that we have a decent look into the market. You don't see a PD2 type disc at all. Well, like in the top 40-ish or whatever that I looked at. And I say that to say, one, as a caveat, that maybe it shouldn't be such a big surprise to me that these haven't sold well, because maybe they're just not popular slots. Maybe I'm just biased because I like these slots, so I expect other people to like these slots. Also, y'all love neutral mids and fairway drivers. Goodness grief. I normally backhand this hole. I just wanted to see how much angle that thing could take and fight out, and it's a lot. I hate having shots like this in the video because I have to show you my up, but I mean, there's really nothing here. It's like 100 foot. So I am curious if you throw one of these slots or what may be in that slot. If it's not one of these guys, I don't know if I mentioned that I was trying to go 6 through 9. I normally set goals for myself, and I think that right now I'm 4 through 7, which means I need to get both of these next two, hole 15 here and then hole 18, which I love throwing. I'm gonna throw both of these, but I'm gonna count the solar flare. It's a little inside. Push straight. Stop. I think I hit off the tree. It's kind of a lazy throw. I'm a little bit tired. I just want to like throw my body into it. I haven't spoken much about the P2X. I guess I haven't really needed it too much in this round. It's a slightly wider diameter PA3. And when I say slightly, I mean like I think it's literally a millimeter wider, and I literally feel that difference because I've literally been putting the PA3 for 6 years, and it is literally the best putter in the game. I don't plan on changing. That being said, the P2X is nice. Ooh, maybe better than the PA3. I've mentioned a couple times that we are a retailer. I've never shied away from that, but I do want to say a huge thank you to all of you. Some of you know me as a YouTuber. Some of you know us as a retailer. Some of y'all know us as the guys who run banging disc golf tournaments down here in Texas. But I do want to say that we couldn't do any of this without your support, obviously. So truly heartfelt thank you from us at Armory Disc Golf to you. We always appreciate it. All right, cue the suspenseful music. This is actually kind of tricky with a disc this overstable because I need to put it on a lot of anhyzer without whacking it into this right side tree. I don't know, it's like a big S shape instead of just throwing it more straight at it. Oh my goodness, that disc is so overstable. I don't know, that's crazy. I don't know that I'm gonna get to 6 down. I threw this like it was a destroyer or an S-line PD2, and it is not one of those things. These are definitely, like if you're looking for the absolute top end of your bag, Gravity Bomb will fill that as fast and as overstable as you need. This is right at the edge of my makeable zone. I can do this. I think I did. I'm not gaining burr.